Let's hear you, Detroit. PBA League Clash.
Welcome to historic Thunder Bowl lanes in Allen Park, Michigan, where the fans are anxious for the start of today's PBA League action. I'm Lon McCarron with Randy Peterson. 3 PBA League teams have already earned spots on today's TV show. The 4th rung of the stepladder still up for grabs. So our first order of business is to have bowlers from the other 5 teams compete in the PBA League Clash. The last bowler standing from that clash earns their club the 4th seed in the team event, an exciting Baker format competition with 5 players per team. We'll then bring you the singles final of the Carmen Salvino Classic with 2 very motivated bowlers, Randy.
Well, that's right, Lon. Our singles matchup is featuring DJ Archer and Andres Gomez. Now, DJ is looking for his first ever career title, and his only television appearance came way back in 2004. And he told us last night, in order for him to win today, he needs to get to his comfort zone, and he needs to get there early. Boy, what an understatement. He's taking on an international superstar in Andres Gomez. And oh, by the way, Andres just happens to be the defending champion of this tournament.
All right, we take a look at the PBA League Carmen Salvino Classic step ladder. 3 teams have already qualified. 1 more team still to qualify in the clash. The 3rd member of our broadcast team here. Here's the lineup for the clash. It is weighted towards the teams who finished higher through the qualifying games. 4th place qualifier puts 4 bowlers in the clash. 5th place gets 3, and so on. The 3rd member of our broadcast team here at Thunder Bowl is a PBA member who tried hard but came up short this week in his qualifying attempts. JT Action Jackson, who is with one of the legends of bowling, a founding member of the PBA, the one, the only, Carmen Salvino. Action.
Thanks, guys. Carmen. So we have the PBA League here, you know, something that you're very familiar with. How do you feel about that?
I think it's great because I bowled in the National Bowling League. I bowled in league tournaments. This is fantastic. We're back to where bowling belongs, and I'm really happy to see that.
That's good, Carmen. Now, how does it feel to have a tournament named after you and throwing the first ball? How does that feel?
Since we're having a little fun, I got to say that's good taste.
I think so too, Carmen.
Honestly, it's an honor. I have a lot of fun with the PBA. They know I'm a little crazy, so it's okay.
Well, there you have it. That's Carmen Salvino. Thank you, Carmen.
I got a message. I got to pass on to President Obama. He's from Chicago. Don't let those politicians confuse you. Use your street smarts that we learned in Chicago, and you'll straighten those boys out.
There you have it. Use your street smarts. President Barack Obama.
All right, that is Carmen Salvino in a nutshell. Let's take a look at the clash rules. 11 players can win 1 shot in round 1. The lowest pinfall eliminated, along with those who tie for that low pinfall. They'll continue until 1 bowler remains, and that bowler will earn his team the 4th seed in the step ladder finals. Randy, this should be a fireworks-filled open to our show here.
One thing's for sure, we're going to see a lot of superstars and some of the PBA greats in this clash.
Parker Bone III from LAX, who qualified with 4 players to lead us off in the clash and set the tone. Parker Bone coming off his World Championship, the World Series of Bowling. First ball of this clash. Well, he leaves something to be desired.
9 will have to do.
Well, the 10-pin fell late, and 9's a lot better than 10.
Yeah.
Remember the low count, and ties are out.
Bone's teammate Wes Malott. 9 is the number.
It's a huge advantage when you can put 4 players from your team onto the floor for this competition.
Malott has bowled well all week.
Yes!
Strike for Wes Malott. He does strike a lot. Terrell Owens in the house, the Dallas Strikers owner. Terrell has proven to be a very big fan of bowling. He's got only 1 bowler in this clash, Rhino Page to his right. All right.
Terrell's a very good player as well.
He is indeed. Walter Ray Williams Jr. now. The Brooklyn Styles. Styles have a couple of bowlers in there. So the key is if everyone else strikes,
ball.
it's Williams and Bone out. Dom Barrett from the Silver Lake Adams Splitters. 7th draft pick overall. PBA went last season. His franchise player on the team is Chris Barnes, who is in this clash as well.
Oh. We see back-to-back shots from Walter Ray and Dom Barrett that both hit the pocket. Walter Ray goes solid 9, Dom Barrett blower 7.
Wasn't that good, actually.
Right now, 9 is on the low side. You can see the beautiful form of Dom Barrett from England throwing pins in front of the 7.
Now Andres Gomez. Gomez also will be in the singles final later on in our show today. This will be LAX.
Oh boy.
That's trouble.
And the guys that got 9 are now safe, and they're breathing a sigh of relief as Andres just throws one wide right, flagging the head pin. Take a look at this. Boy, this ball scoots right in a hurry, and that has no chance of getting back to the head pin.
Also from LAX, the franchise player, Jason Belmonte. 5 tour titles. He's made such a huge impression on the PBA Tour. That's good for Jason.
I'm not so sure your 6 will hold up, but we have a chance. We have a chance.
He does have 3 other players if Gomez is eliminated. Now the current player of the year, Sean Rash from the Brooklyn Styles. Looking for 7. Get it?
Good enough.
He'll take it. That's terrific. Rash safe through the first frame.
Andres Gomez is looking for help. I don't think it's at all possible on this oil pattern that's been very high scoring throughout the week. I don't see how it's possible for any player to get less than 6.
Chris Barnes now franchise player for the Silver Lake Adams Splitters. Double Texas.
Oh.
He doesn't like it. A grunt and a strike from Barnes.
Well, he's been sitting on the bench for a while, and Chris, no spring chicken anymore at 42 years of age. I think that one might have thrown his back out.
Somebody maybe put a heavier ball in there. That's what it sounded like. All right, Dan McClellan, the only player from the Pittsburgh Jackrabbits.
Good enough. Now Rhino Page is stepping up to throw his shot. He's been sitting next to Terrell Owens, and I guarantee I know what advice Terrell has given Rhino Page.
What's that?
Rhino, this time, I want you to knock all the pins down. Just do it, son.
The team owners for. Bring the motivation. Rhino Page actually the first pick in the PBA League draft. Terrell looking on. Yeah, he got the pick for the strike. Page is safe. Now just Stu Williams, the only one who can save Andres Gomez right now.
It's like sitting next to Jerry Jones, man. You want to keep the team owner happy.
From the Silver Lake Adams Splitters, Stu Williams. Williams checking England. 7 is good enough.
Well, that was real interesting. I think he was trying to throw it straight and hard at the head pin, and he whips the head pin and gets 7. Good enough to move on.
So Andres Gomez will take his ball and take his leave. We're down to 10 players now. The first one gone. Gomez. He does have 3 other teammates still in this PBA League clash. And this really, they're having fun out there right now, but this means a lot. I mean, you get into this team stepladder final and anything can happen.
If you want to win points to make it to the Elias Cup in Indianapolis later this year, you have to get into the Final 4 team event portion of these tournaments. Lots of points, a lot of valuable points up for grabs.
Parker Bone III, one of 3 LAX team members left in this clash.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that could be trouble
Could
again for LAX.
Could see another LAX guy go by the wayside here. Parker Bone goes through the nose, getting 7.
All right, strikes a lot. Wes Malott trying to come up with another strike. Malott, very methodical as usual.
Guy's had a great winter swing, and he's throwing the ball about as good as I've ever seen. Except on that shot.
He's not on the Brooklyn team, but he does go to the other side. But he's safe with 8.
Bowling for the Brooklyn Styles.
That ball hooked at his shoelace. Watch this thing out of his hand. It starts to curve before it leaves his thumb and goes through the nose, but nice break getting 8. He remains safe. Parker Bone getting 7 right behind him.
Yeah, a couple of teammates. Now Walter Ray Williams from the Brooklyn Styles. That's a strike.
I mean, this guy's amazing, isn't he? How old is he now? Like 68, 69? I mean, it doesn't get old with this guy.
53-year-old Walter Ray Williams Jr.
53?
tops PBA earnings, titles, and TV finals.
Are you sure that's not a typo?
Hey, I know I'm not a good typist, but yeah, 53. Dom Barrett now. The Atom Splitters of Silver Lake. Barrett is safe.
That guy's a board splitter, and he splits a lot of pins with that much power. I love watching him bowl, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I have kind of a man crush on Don Barrett. I love watching him bowl.
There's a lot of good things said about him every time he is in the field. He impresses a lot of people.
And he's an incredibly nice man, too. Complete gentleman.
Belmo, two-handed wonder from down under. The LAX owned by NBA star Chris Paul. Not happy, but 9's good enough.
Wait a
That
minute.
lane-
Is he on the
that lane
LAX or
is-
the Brooklyn Styles?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that little Brooklyn Styles, like just weaved in there seamlessly.
I was surprised they even brought that name up in the bowling circles. Brooklyn. Maybe if you acknowledge it, you defy it. Sean Rash now. From the Styles. Whoa. Boy. They're not tearing it up so far in this PBA League clash, Randy.
Well, this right lane looks like it's on
normally
fire.
would
It's
cheer for
broken
you.
down so quickly. You can see players going Brooklyn, going through the nose.
Maybe Rash is contractually obligated as the franchise player of the Brooklyn Styles. Chris Barnes now, Silver Lake Atom Splitters by Chris Hardwick, podcast. His groove.
It's not going anywhere. One of the greatest technicians our sport has ever seen. Chris is going with the high hard one at the 1-3 pocket. His ball's not going to read that early hook going that fast with that low a rev rate.
Chris says his straight approach allows him to take a number of attack angles if needed.
He's just such a great strategist. Sometimes it gets him into trouble, he overthinks, but man, most of the time he's pretty right on.
McClellan now, the Jackrabbits. Their only competitor in the clash, and he has struck twice.
Now you want to talk about bowling. This guy here, he can bowl, and he's taking a page out of Barnes's book with that straight heater. So far, so good for Danny Mack.
Now the lone Dallas striker with the owner looking on right over the shoulder. I'm just not sure about that.
Rhino, do not make him angry.
Of course, we had Terrell in the broadcast booth during the Chris Paul charity event, and he was quite a fan, as we mentioned, of bowling. He's very interested in what's happening. And he's got a good bowler in Rhino Page.
Got to tell you, it really means a lot to have Terrell Owens be a part of this, and not only that, but to be here with us on today's telecast. Thank you, T.O. You're a class act. I know everybody loves having you here.
All right, the number 7, Parker Bone III, led off this second frame with a 7. Stuart Williams bowled a 7 on his first ball, so he needs to better that here. if he wants to stick around. Bone on the bubble. Backing up, yeah, it does. And so the LAX lose another player, and Parker Bone the third.
LAX is down to 2 players. So
You have 2 more teammates left in this clash, but the reigning world champions out.
for the LAX. West one.
So the third frame will be led off by LAX's Wes Malott, strike and peak so far. High as it will go.
And the beast comes through for his team, throwing a beautiful strike there.
A lot riding on this. The last man standing earns his team the 4th rung on the step ladder in the upcoming team competition. Of course, as you mentioned, Randy, they're trying to earn points to move into the team finals in Indianapolis and win that Elias Cup. Walter Ray struck in the second. There he comes up with the double. A timeless form.
Boy, this style hasn't changed at all over the years, except when I knew him when I was a kid. Walter Ray used to hook it. I mean, he could hook it from gutter to gutter. And then he came out on tour and he hooked it for a while. Remember, he was player of the year back in 1986 for the first time. Then all of a sudden, these reactive resin balls come out and this guy starts to go straighter and straighter, and all he kept doing was win. And he won a lot.
Barrett comes up short with a 9, so after 2 strikes from the leadoff hitter, Barrett the one on the bubble. That brings up LAX's franchise player, Jason Belmonte. Needs a strike to stay safe. Low count, and everyone who ties for that low count. So 2 players on the bubble here, Belmo and Dom Barrett. Sean Rash, Belmo's rival the last couple of years on the PBA Tour. And that happens when you find each other bowling a lot. Rash with a 9 and 8. No strike yet until now.
Woo!
Franchise player from the Brooklyn Styles will be through to the next round. Now, Chris Barnes, who has struck twice already.
This one's going to be straight and fast.
Back in December, that gallbladder removal surgery. He bounced back very quickly.
Well, he's a great athlete. Played basketball.
He got 9 then.
Back in high school, wanted to play basketball in college. At Wichita State, realized that he had a great career and future in bowling, but a great athlete nonetheless. And great athletes always bounce back fast, Lon, as you know.
Oh yeah, every day. Every day I bounce back. Dan McClellan now. Pittsburgh Jackrabbits, only representative. Jackrabbits be in the first frame.
That kid there just keeps getting better and better on this tour. We've seen him on a lot of telecasts. He's yet to win, but I promise you, he will. Taking a page out of Chris Barnes' book, as I said earlier, throwing it straight and hard.
Speaking of Page, Rhino Page.
Wow, nice segment.
The owner in the background. Terrell Owens. Look at he's checking out Rhino's footwork. Rhino gets back to the bench and maybe give him a little work advice. 2 strikes for Page so far in the first 2 frames. He needs one here to be safe.
Look out.
He got it.
Rhino Page running a wrist brace again on that left wrist. Boy, we looked at his wrist the other night and it was swollen and sore. He says, you know, it hurts like heck, but I'm bowling really good.
Exactly. There's
All
not
right, a
really
couple
that
guys
pressure, is there?
on the bubble, Dom Barrett and Belmo.
8 or 10 is the only result I want.
Stuart Williams now from the Adams Splitters.
Well, if he gets 8, Stewart's the only one out. If he gets 9, there's 3 players that'll drop out. If he strikes,
He's got 2 players out.
2 players that'll go, and that'll be Don Barrett, Belmonte.
Stuart Williams has thrown a 7 and a 9 in the first 2 frames. Strike will keep him safe and knock out 2 players. There it is!
That's 3 rounds in a row where the LA Strike has lost a player.
So we do lose Dom Barrett with a 9. He's out from the Silver Lake Adams Splitters, and Jason Belmonte, the franchise player of LAX, gone.
Brooklyn with 2, Pittsburgh with 1, Dallas with 1, round 4. For the LAX, Wes Malott.
This guy's as big as LAX.
Wes Malott, Pflugerville, Texas, 36-year-old, 7 PBA titles. His strike at the beginning of the 3rd frame led to 2 players being knocked out. That's not going to be a strike. That could be the end of Malott's.
Problem is, this might be safe on this lane.
And there you see the disadvantage of hooking the ball on that right lane. There's so much early friction, so much more friction on that lane. Wes bowling with a slightly torn meniscus in that left knee that he's going to have repaired in April. Pulls up just a little bit and goes to the nose. Big trouble, believe in the big 4.
So a gift to the rest of the Clash competitors from Wes Malott, throwing a 6 to open up. Walter Ray now with his 3rd strike in a row.
And Lon, there's a common theme I see right now. The players that are throwing it straighter, a lot less adjustments. They can keep the ball on line, and they can avoid that 6 and 7 count when they do miss their target.
So with 3 players out from the middle of the lineup, Brooklyn Styles players back-to-back, Walter Ray, franchise players. Good in the 4th.
What? Right now, LAX in jeopardy of being eliminated from the team portion of this competition.
Who'd have thunk?
They had 4 players in, and each player going by the wayside after each round. Wes Malott, unless he gets a gift, he's going to be gone as well.
Chris Barnes, 4 in a row for Barnes. He is safe.
Straighter is greater, baby.
Just keeps rolling on. It's amazing. Now McClellan, once again, he is struggling every attempt. Who knows? These Jackrabbits could be sprinting towards a spot on the stepladder. Well, I put up a 6. So anything better than a 6 and you're safe.
Another player throwing it nice and straight and firm. Taking all that early hook out of play. That's why Danny Mack is so good. He can hook the entire lane, but he's learned how to bowl out here. He's become a very versatile player.
Rhino Page once again. Big lefty. #1 pick in the PBA League by Norm Duke.
And our only lefty. Left.
Here remaining,
in this clash.
Third. Second player out. His way.
You know what that's called? Rhino Page style.
Rhino Page style. That has proven to be a very effective style. Wes Malott seems to know his fate is sealed. Put up a 6 to open up this frame. Stuart Williams needs a 7 or better to eliminate Wes Malott.
Yeah, Wes has already got his shoes untied.
Silver Lake. Right here. Whoa! Just barely with the 7, and it's good enough. Wes Malott from LAX eliminated from this PBA League clash now. So no more LAX players remaining. They started with 4.
What are the odds of that happening?
I'm not a math guy.
411,610 to 1.
You demand.
It's crazy stuff.
So now Walter Ray Williams Jr. from the Brooklyn Styles will lead off this 5th round.
The closer we get, the more players that are eliminated, the more important it's going to be to throw a strike. That ringing 10 may not be good enough to advance. Especially on this left lane. Left lane has given the players no trouble whatsoever in terms of getting their bowling ball to the pocket.
Styles franchise player Sean Rash.
Go.
Went enough.
And isn't bowling a great sport? Walter Ray throws a great shot, leads the ringing 10. Sean Rash goes high, trips the 4, good for a strike.
Get the early one.
Chris Barnes for Silver
Like hitting your approach shot off the tree. Ends up near the pin on the green.
Yeah, that's a right-hander's best friend, that trip 4.
Chris Barnes now has been perfect through 4.
He's got a new hairstyle, too.
Barnes is still perfect.
All he has to do is pull it left, the ball's going to lay there and freeze, and he knows it. Again, just great strategy by Chris Barnes and understanding all the traffic that's on the lanes and how the lanes are going to break down. And he just went with a kind of a shot that it doesn't matter how the lanes break down.
McClellan now carrying the hopes of the Jackrabbits on his shoulders, and he can carry the whole team if he throws like that all day.
Well, he knows the team owner, Lamar Woodley, doesn't fool around, and that's the last guy you want mad at you.
Wow, Chris Hardwick from the Silver Lake Adams Splitters knows that. Oh man, on the totem pole right now, Walter Ray Williams Jr. opened up, leaving the 10 pen. Rhino Page, the Dallas Strikers. He's the strike to stay safe, and he got it. Boy, those 3 there at the bottom of this lineup, Barnes, McClellan, and Page. Perfect, perfect, perfect through 5. Yep, Terrell Owens loves it. And now Stuart Williams with a strike can eliminate Walter Ray. Anything less, and he is gone. Williams must strike to stay alive. He's only thrown 1, but he got it here. So Walter Ray Williams Jr. eliminated in the 5th round.
Silver Lake 2 and Brooklyn, Pittsburgh, and Dallas with 1 remaining.
I'll take a look at the shot that eliminates Walter Ray, and I think this is a very unique follow-through that we have on the PBA Tour. Look at that short, abbreviated follow-through.
So Williams comes up big for Silver Lake and the other 5 players remaining. And so now Sean Rash leading us off. Rash with his 4th in a row. We open up round number 6.
Silver Lake's Chris Barnes.
And we're getting down to that strike or go home. Only a couple of players left.
2 from Silver Lake, 1 from Brooklyn, 1 from Pittsburgh, 1 from Dallas remaining. Here is the franchise player for Silver Lake, Chris Barnes. Nothing but strikes for Barnes.
Nothing but heat.
Here comes some more. Good enough.
That's 16 pounds of bad intentions coming at the 1-3 there. Barnes perfect. You thought that was going to be a little high. Next time, if he does get back to that right lane, he might move like a half a board or a board left. Enough ball speed on that shot to keep it online and drive all 10 in the pit. Bowling ball almost looked like it took the 7 out.
Barnes looking a little lucky to get that strike. McClellan also has been perfect for his Pittsburgh Jackrabbits. I don't think he could miss if he tried.
2 players playing very similar lines.
3 strikes in a row. That puts the heat now on Rhino Page, and that's what this clash is all about, putting heat on your opponents. Page has been perfect to this point, but things change when you're the man now on the potential bubble. Every man's on the bubble bowls here. Page and Williams.
Sir.
Yeah, he got it. Rhino Page showing well for the Dallas Strikers. And Lionel Monticelli and Brian Smith, a couple of his teammates, love to see that, as does team owner Terrell Owens. So now Williams, who has struck only twice in the 5 previous rounds, needs to strike to stay alive.
Yeah, he's kind of gotten through unnoticed, under the radar, so to speak, just throwing enough to get by, although he did throw 2 big strikes on the left lane to knock guys out.
Williams needs to get them all. And he got them.
Great shot there by Stewie to stay in it.
So this round started with 5. We remain with 5.
We moved around 7, leading off with Brooklyn style, Sean Rash.
Wasn't me.
Moving on to round 7 now. Sean Rash, the leadoff hitter. You see the remaining players saying, don't strike, don't strike.
Ooh. Flat 10. You heard Sean, he didn't like that one. That ball hit like it needed CPR after it got done. 6-pin going to the side. Kind of just laying there in the gutter. Watch this. Everything looks pretty good there. 6-pin just goes to the sidewall and runs out of gas.
So Rash blinks after everyone struck in the 6th. And Barnes remained perfect in the clash. Yes, he can.
Boy, he's thrown it so hard, he's literally coming out of his shoes when he gets to the foul line. Just a lot of momentum and speed behind that shot. Watch this. This guy's pretty good at posting up shots, but a lot of speed and momentum behind that one. Has he missed yet?
He has not missed yet, nor has this man, Dan McClellan. Sean Rash, the man on the bubble.
Thank you.
McClellan, I stand corrected, with a 9 in the first, and a 9 here.
Yeah. Trouble.
McClellan and Rash now with 9s. 2 men on the bubble. Rhino Page has been perfect.
Look at the pythons on this lefty. I'd hate to have that guy get me in a left-handed chokehold. You could snap your neck in half. This is one strong kid, pulling through a lot of pain in that left wrist, but so far so good. He's perfect.
Page needs to be perfect here to guarantee himself another round. Team owner Terrell Owens looking on. Yes. Rhino got the kick.
Back on Stuart Williams now. As you can take a look at Rhino Page's bowling ball driving that 7-pin out. One of the greatest wide receivers in the history of bowling sitting in his camp. Boy, that doesn't stink, does it?
Bringing success to his PBA League team here. He knows the winning attitude. Stuart Williams now from the Silver Lake Adams Splitters. He is the man of the moment. A strike will eliminate McClellan and Rash. The rest of the field would love that. Williams is going to come back and get him. Oh,
my.
So that means 3 players are out. Williams, with that 9 count, will walk off along with McClellan and Rash.
And then there were 2.
Rhino Page and Chris Barnes remain.
Great shot here, but the angle creates that ringing 10. Stewie liked it the whole way, but Pins didn't cooperate.
Well, that rule about low count and ties has played big here in the clash. And I think that adds a little extra pressure to the players. I like it.
Well, it's a little 2-on-1 right now. One of the greatest receivers in football sitting next to Rhino Page. Barnes is on the bench by himself.
The winning player will be with his team in the PBA League step ladder. The step ladder. Scorecard here opens the door for Rhino Page to move his Dallas Strikers into the league step ladder.
Well, you kind of saw this coming. Remember the last shot on that right lane. Chris drifted just a pinch high, but he was lucky to strike. This time not so fortunate. Just high enough to leave a solid 4. Now Rhino Page, 1 strike. The Dallas Strikers are moving on.
Dallas Strikers, quote, 1 man only. Rhino Page into this PBA League clash. They qualified last after the 8 games of qualifying. The lowest qualifying team can move through if Page can get the strike, and he does.
That's what I'm talking about, T.O.
So the Dallas Strikers win this PBA League clash, and they will be on the 4th rung of the step ladder. Norm Duke, the franchise player, is thrilled.
You think Norm knew something when he chose Rhino Page as the #1 overall pick in the draft?
They will take on the New York City WTT Kingpins when our PBA League action begins in just a moment. And what a performance by Rhino Page. Strike after strike after strike. He was perfect all the way through.